Hello, this video is going to be on the Marvel Legends Infinite series of Nova and the Guardians of the Galaxy movie Star-Lord. So this is the third and final video for this series of figures, and at the end of this video you will see the completed Build-A-Figure Groot. So stick around for that. So anyway, these two come in your typical Marvel Legends packaging. You have some character art on both sides, and then on the back you have some info about each character. And for Nova, it says the Nova Force grants Richard Rider immense power, but without the stabilizing presence of the Xandrian world mind, it would also shatter his insanity. And for Star-Lord, it says, with the universe in peril, interstellar adventurer Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, assembles a ragtag team of cosmic misfits to defend it, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians. Okay, so anyway, on the back, on the bottom, you have the 6 figures and which part they come with, and of course, how you would assemble Groot, or where each part would go. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging, and we'll take a look at these now. So I'll do Star-Lord first. And for some strange reason, I keep forgetting to mention this in the past 2 videos, but the flaps on the back are not sealed with tape, so if you're gonna buy these in a store, definitely make sure you get what you're supposed to get and not some swapped out pieces. Alright, so here's Star-Lord out of the packaging, and here is the Build-A-Figure Groot left arm, and I'll attach this to Groot later on after I wrap up Star-Lord. But he does come with a few accessories for Star-Lord himself. He comes with 2 guns, comes with an interchangeable head, which doesn't really look like Chris Pratt, unfortunately. And here's the little orb that he was trying to steal, and then Korath kind of catches him, but I do think Star-Lord gets away with it. And then I think this is a cassette player. I'm not saying it as if I don't know what a cassette player is. I'm just saying it looks like one, and I had one when I was a kid. So, and these are obviously headphones. So here's the articulation for Star-Lord. His head can rotate completely around. He can look up a little bit, and he can look down. So there's that. He can lean back and lean forward, but since he has this trench coat, it's kind of really limited. And then the left arm has a little rotating ball shoulder joint right there, and this also has the rotating upper arm right there. The elbow bends quite well, and the wrist, left wrist, can rotate all the way around. And then they kind of gave him this weird, not this exactly the same arm that's on the left one on the right one, so it's kind of odd. So he's kind of always looking like he's doing the robot. But anyway, the ball joint at the shoulder can rotate right there. It can go down a little bit, but then this upper arm is kind of always sticking like out this way. So whatever angle you want to point it at, it kind of really just starts at the elbow right there. And the elbow can kind of bend the same way as the left arm, and then of course the wrist rotates all the way around as well. So anyway, I'm gonna take actually I'll do the head last, and then the waist can rotate all the way around right there, and then he has the upper thigh rotation as well, and then knees can kind of bend, or bend this way, and then naturally it goes back that far. What was I gonna do? Oh, the leg, it can go forward like that, and it could go back if it didn't have a coat on. And then I don't think it can go sideways, unfortunately. So what's next? And then here's the little boosters that he has on his boot that we saw him use in the latest trailer. And of course the ankle pivot is really good on this one, so we can bend that far. That far. And then you can kind of do a pretty good one on the other, going the other way as well. And then he can point his toes like a ballerina, and then he can point his toes up like that. So that's cool. And here's the head accessory that you can just pop off. And it's and then here's the not Chris Pratt face right there, and then you kind of just pop it in like that. So you can, well, I think you can put the headphones on this head as well, but I'll switch them after this, but here he is with his headphones on right there. And then, not really sure where this goes. I think he just holds this in the cassette player. But it looks kind of hard to do this. So, I'll just make him hold it really differently. Or really awkward. So, there he is holding it in the weird right arm. Like that. But he can also hold the orb that he was trying to steal. Like that. So I guess it's... oh no! I guess it's easier to hold it in his left arm. But actually, let me see if he can stand up and hold this. No. So yeah, there he is holding that little orb he was trying to steal. And of course, the two guns that he comes with. These are not a problem to hold. And look quite cool. Alright, so there he is holding both of his guns. And it's kind of, looks really cool. And then I just wanted to see if he can hold, or if he can wear the headphones on this helmet, or on his masked head. And yeah, he can pretty much. So that's nice. So overall, I do think Star-Lord is a fairly decent figure. The only thing that really baffles me is the right arm and the hand. I do think the hand on my Star-Lord isn't the best one, so you probably will get a better hand than I did. But I do prefer to display the Star-Lord with the mask on, simply because the head without the mask doesn't really look like Chris Pratt. And I do like how they made the little messenger or sling bag kind of, or not kind of, to make it move around and stuff, so you can kind of like sling it in different places, but that is kind of limited. But I do like the little rocket boosters that they added to the boot that we seen him use in the latest trailer, so I thought that was a nice addition. If they left it out, I probably wouldn't have noticed, but since I've seen it and stuff, I was kind of glad that they did include it on this figure, so that's nice. And the trench coat is actually really cool to see in person. But yeah, anyway, if you do need a Star-Lord figure, they should be fairly easy to find. Anyway, you should be able to see Iron Man and Star-Lord together a lot, since they are 2 per case in the current wave. So wherever there's an Iron Man, there should be a Star-Lord. So, or wherever there is a Star-Lord, there should be an Iron Man. However you want to say it. I imagine Star-Lord might be selling just a little bit better than Iron Man, but who knows? Maybe Iron Man is selling better since it's kind of a different armor. But yeah, decent figure. And now we'll take a look at the arm for the Build-A-Figure Groot that Star-Lord came with. So here is the arm before it is attached. It's the left arm, and there's some greenery right here on his forearm, or forebranch, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's also a very faint green around the shoulder ball joint right there as well. And the elbow can bend like that. The hand and the wrist can go like that and like that. And it does rotate all the way around. And there's the movement right here. So it can go up and down when you have it attached. So anyway, so it's left arm, and you basically just peg it in right here. And that's it. So with the arm attached to Groot, you can raise his arm like that, and then his arms can go to the sides like that. And then if you rotate the ball joint at the shoulder halfway, you can raise his arm like that as well. And the ball joint does rotate all the way around, and the upper arm also has the rotating part right there. And I also like how they added the little branches at the side, so that was a nice little touch. So anyway, yeah, there's 5 of 6 Build-A-Figure Groot pieces together, and right after Nova, we'll have a completed Build-A-Figure Groot. So anyway, I'm going to take a look at Nova now. Alright, so here is Nova, and he looks fantastic with the paint job that he comes with. Really metallic-like look to him, especially in the blue areas, the darker blue areas, but yeah, really nice looking figure, front and back right there. And here he is next to the Star-Lord figure, just so you can get a look at the height. It's pretty much the same, but yeah, no accessories, but I kind of think the paint job makes up for it in terms of the price. But we'll take a look at his articulation and go from there. So for articulation, his head can rotate all the way around, his head can look up a little bit and look down a lot more. He has these little shoulder bits right here that go up like that to make his arm rotate a little bit easier. It rotates completely at the shoulder, and the upper arm also rotates right there, and the elbow bend is like that, and the wrist can rotate all the way around as well, so that's nice. And the same goes for the right arm. It's not different like Star-Lord's, and he can lean back a little bit, and then this is normal, and leaning forward a little bit like that. And then the waist rotates completely around right there, and he has some leg movement to the side, but it's kind of limited, and it doesn't really go backwards because of his backside preventing it, but his legs do go forward like that. He has the upper thigh rotation as well. His knees bend fairly good, and the ankle is really good like that. It also goes the other way. He can point his toes just as good as Star-Lord, and his toes can point up as well. So pretty good articulation all around. Overall, I think this Nova figure is quite good. He's only one per case, so he might be hard to find. Whenever he shows up on Amazon as in stock, he sells out quite fast. So hopefully a future wave of Guardians of the Galaxy figures have Nova 2 per case instead of 1. So anyway, that's pretty much it for Nova, and now we are going to complete the Build-A-Figure Groot. So here is Groot's right arm before it is attached to the body. In terms of articulation, it is pretty much the same as the left arm, but the mold is a little bit different. There's different kinds of branches and sizes of the branches going in different directions as well. But there are some green parts around the arm as well, and a lot around the shoulder ball joint right there as well. So to attach the arm to the Groot, you just peg this part right here into there, and that's pretty much it. And there we go, and Groot is officially completed. So here is the completed Build-A-Figure Groot, and he is awesome to the max. Quite a tall figure. He's about 9 inches tall when he's standing straight up. But yeah, everything about it is just really awesome, and I do love how they added the green on the back of the figure. I probably talked about this when I was doing the first video for the torso area, but yeah, I do like how they added the green to the back, even though people probably won't see Groot from the back of this figure, but yeah, it just looks, it's great. It's a nice touch to it. So here's a closer look and a final look at the Groot figure. One of the things that I like most about this Groot figure are the eyes. He just looks really calm, like he wouldn't hurt anybody unless you got on his bad side or Rocket Raccoon's bad side. Plus in the trailer we saw him look pretty nice giving a flower to a little girl. So I really am looking forward to seeing Groot in the movie in action. The green looks nice around the various parts, and the hands and the fingers look really nice. I mean, he is a tree, so I mean, everything about him is tree-like. So I really like the feet as well. And yeah, so again on the back there's some green right there, and yeah, I mean the head looks pretty cool, and you can look down, but I think it best looks like, yeah, I think it best looks like that, kind of like just looking straight forward and stuff. Perhaps looking up as well. Actually, that is how far up he can look, but yeah, I do think that's how I'll display the Groot figure, just like this. So anyway, let's take a look at all of the Guardians of the Galaxy figures from Marvel Legends, including the Nova and the Iron Man figure. Alright, so here are all of the Marvel Legends for the Guardians of the Galaxy series. You got in the front Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord, and then in the back from the left you got Iron Man, Gamora, Groot, Drax the Destroyer, and Nova. And here is a look at just the Guardians of the Galaxy movie team, and they look really great together. But I do think getting all 6 figures would be nice to have, especially with the Iron Man figure. It is kind of unique and it does look nice, but I'm just still not a fan of the shoulder attachments. But Nova looks nice, and I kind of do hope they do introduce Richard Rider into the Marvel Cinematic Universe eventually, regardless if it's going to be in Guardians or in a future movie. But yeah, I mean, the Nova Corps is in it, but anyway, it only takes these 6 figures to complete the Groot, so I guess if you do plan on doing that, I guess you can just pre-order a set from a store, or just try to put them together over a few days or weeks or whenever, depending on where you prefer to buy your action figures. But yeah, it does look like Rocket Raccoon and Nova are going to be the slightly harder ones to find until a future wave has them as 2 per case instead of 1 per case. Even though Gamora and Drax are 1 per case, they probably would last just a tiny bit longer than they would for Rocket Raccoon and Nova. But yeah, anyway, these are all of it for Guardians of the Galaxy in the Marvel Legends line so far, and I kind of do hope they do introduce a villains line. I mean, they are not a villains per se line, but just some other characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously with Thanos, then they can use the Collector, Ronin, Korath, and maybe have like the Sakaran troopers that are in the mini action figure packs, and a Nova Corps officer. So yeah, I mean, there are other characters from Guardians of the Galaxy that they can make as figures and maybe make as a second series, but who knows? I mean, they gotta really see how Guardians of the Galaxy does as a movie. But yeah, I'm hoping it shapes up to be a great movie, and we're less than 2 months away from it. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And again, this particular video was on the Star-Lord and Nova figure. But yeah, thank you for watching, and do check out the other 2 videos if you haven't seen them yet. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Later.